Chapter 106. Nancy slammed her cell phone on the emergency room counter with so much force the screen cracked. She glared at it, fighting an urge to throw it across the room. She called every mall in the state and still couldn't find Virginia. Amanda said she was shopping with her oldest boy and his friend when Nancy called her after receiving news of the accident from Sandra. Amanda gave her Virginia and Chris's cell phone numbers. Virginia's cell kept going straight to voicemail. Chris wasn't answering his. Aren't teenagers supposed to be glued to the bloody things? Nancy thought. Sandra was in the ER lobby trying to comfort Mike. Whatever went on behind the curtain while the doctor worked on the boys shook him to his foundations. Robert Bigelow was with them, carefully asking Mike questions about the accident. When Nancy called the senior McKee's house, Amanda tearfully told her she would get her husband from Legion Field. Nancy promised she would contact Virginia, but she failed. She couldn't locate her good-for-nothing son either. Craig was in a bad way. Jack was still, although she was loath to admit it, the boy's father, regardless of the restraining order. If there was a lick of love in him anywhere, he had the right to know. Damn that man, Nancy thought. She drove to the hospital as soon as she got off the phone with Amanda. She made the 20-minute trip from Copeland Industries in less than 10. Sandra assured her Craig had no injuries, but she described what he witnessed. Nancy wouldn't let Craig face such horrors alone. He'd suffered enough. She blamed his cow of a mother for abandoning him to Jack. Mike moved down the hall outside of X-ray. Sandra held his hand and leaned against his shoulder. Robert followed them. They watched through the window. Nancy was alone in the waiting room except for Margaret Adler. She was slumped in a chair, lightly snoring. Nancy was startled. She didn't see Margaret there a moment ago. Where did she bloody come from, Nancy wondered. What in God's name is she doing here? Nancy's heart skipped a beat as Miss Adler's head snapped up. Her dark brown eyes burned into her brain. Nancy felt completely transparent. "Oh, Miss Adler!" Nancy exclaimed, gasping and holding her chest. "I'll be begging your pardon." "Nonsense, dear lady," Miss Adler said, her tone superior. "Your surprise does not offend me. I am well aware of what people think of me. I can help you in your endeavors." Nancy began. "You called Misty's Cafe looking for your son?" "Aye," Nancy replied, "that I did. He wasn't there." "He is in the men's bathroom, passed out inside one of the stalls." Nancy's mouth dropped open. Miss Adler walked away, but stopped in the doorway. Without looking back, she added, "And Virginia McKee? She is having lunch with the boys at Denny's in Vernon. Their cell phones are working now." Nancy broke out in a cold sweat as Miss Adler disappeared around the corner.